Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This is TV's Dr. Travis Stork for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, with more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Critics of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. turn out for his appearance before a Senate committee. New Jersey Democratic Congressman Herb Conaway.
He has failed in his principal duty to protect the American people.
Kennedy began his appearance by defending the moves made under him so far, including last week's firing of the head of the CDC and changes to vaccine recommendations.
We at HHS are enacting a once-in-a-generation shift from a sick care system to a true health care system that tackles the root causes of chronic disease.
Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden.
This set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
White House correspondent Natalie Brand tells us
the Trump administration has defended Kennedy, even as public health experts sound the alarm over new guidelines restricting eligibility for COVID vaccines and his overhaul of a key vaccine advisory panel.
House Speaker Mike Johnson defends President Trump, who, when asked about the release of the Epstein files, labeled the matter a Democrat hoax. Would Trump meet with the Epstein accusers?
I suspect he probably will. Yeah, he has great compassion for them. The president has a very compassionate heart. He hates the fact that these women suffered those harms. He hates what Epstein is accused of and who he was.
Washington, D.C. has sued the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard, calling it a military occupation. In Chicago, where federal troops could show up next for a crime and immigration crackdown, WBBM Radio's Haley Hansen says the city's teachers' unions handing out flyers and planning to monitor schools.
CTU is also calling on Chicago public schools to allow virtual learning for families keeping their kids at home for fear of being targeted.
The Secretary of State Rubio says the U.S. is designating 2 gangs from Ecuador as foreign terrorist organizations in the latest move against cartels. Overseas, the BBC's Yolande Nell says a new UN report indicates the war in Gaza has left children dead and survivors struggling for food and education.
Since January, 44,000 children have been treated for acute malnutrition in Gaza. 700,000 children have lost their right to education. This in a time when Palestinian children would normally be returning to school.
Stephen Myron, President Trump's pick to join the Federal Reserve Board, said today he would remain a White House employee even if the Senate confirms him to the job. Wall Street, right now the Dow is up about 200 points. The S&P is up 25. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
More documents set to be unsealed in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A crash is blocking 3 lanes on I-90 westbound near West Mercer Way. You are slow from Mercer Island into Seattle. The disabled vehicle may have been moved from State Route 18 eastbound near the Tiger Mountain Summit. Your backup is breaking up now. Travel times: Everett to Seattle 32 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle 48, Renton to Bellevue 39. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. More than 24 previously sealed documents will be released in the University of Idaho student murders case. KIRO 7 TV's Al Thomas explains.
These are all items that would have been used in the murder trial against Brian Koberger. Koberger ultimately admitted to killing the 4 students and accepted a plea deal. Now, of the 44 documents, just 9 will remain sealed. Much of the rest will either be released as is or redacted to protect personal information.
Koberger is serving a life sentence. We now know the bones recovered in the latest search for Travis Decker are not human. The FBI says a lab at Central Washington University did the analysis. Search teams recovered the bones during a 2-day grid search for the man accused of murdering his 3 daughters at a campsite near Leavenworth. It's not known if Decker is dead or alive. Seattle police say they recovered narcotics at an auto body shop in the Chinatown International District. Captain Mike Strand says yesterday's bust follows a 2-month undercover operation at the business at 8th and Jackson, and they're not done.
As far as the business goes, we're going to work with our partners in the city attorney's office with the new nuisance abatement laws and see if we can close down this building entirely and the business itself.
Police say they witnessed users buying drugs at the shop every morning. They arrested 2 people and say other workers may also be involved. A former state official says she was fired for speaking out about crowding at Green Hill and Echo Glen juvenile detention centers. Felice Upton tells the Washington State Standard she wants nearly $5 million in damages. She led juvenile rehabilitation for Washington's Department of Children, Youth, and Families. As the Seahawks prepare to kick off their 50th season Sunday, KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson is checking out the food you'll find at Lumen Field this fall.
Feeding the fans
first down
that power the team.
It's going to be a really fun year for food and for football.
This year, Loon Cafe's Dubai chocolate strawberries, Korean rice hot dogs, a Legion of Boom tribute in the form of fried catfish, and flaming hot Cheeto chicken tenders.
We absolutely do test and say, okay, is this really going to work?
For Chef Boris, it's about providing an experience like nowhere else in the league.
This weather update brought to you by Stade Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It's 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, September 4th. Y'all know Ursula's back.
That's the reason I'm laughing, though. First of all,
yeah.
You were saying, man, I'm in a bad mood. I'm thinking, did I bring on this bad mood?
No.
Okay, I think it's just we're hitting some heavy topics, right?
We are.
It's not just me being back.
You know, no, not the time.
No, I want to hear it now. Okay, remember you just said.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I do want to.
Seriously?
I do want to hear it.
I think I get in a bad mood because when we talk about these topics, we're talking about addiction, we're talking about drug addiction, we're talking about homelessness, and when I say things like society doesn't care about poor people, and like when I make that blanket statement and that sweeping statement like that, there are people like, well, what about this one person that Sure, there are some people that care. I mean, I'm not saying that. We have a lot of people that care about poor people. I think what happens to me is the place that I get into, and the reason why I'm so passionate about this topic is because I just know that feeling.
Yeah, you've been
You know
there.
what I mean? I mean, like I truly know that feeling. And it's a feeling that I would probably still be having if it wasn't for someone giving me a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there are so many people out there that would just
Love
need
for that chance.
would just love for that chance. And so when we get on these topics and the reason why I get so frustrated is because what I see is I see us and everyone doing the same thing. Right, we continue like, well, we'll have as long as you become homeless, then we'll have these resources for you. And I know that the people that we don't see that aren't homeless yet are close to being there. And as a matter of fact, there's somebody listening right now that is struggling. Like they are one flat tire away,
or one job loss,
or one medical emergency from being right there. So the same people that are being demonized that we see out there, so many of us are close to that. And I don't think people realize that a lot. Some of the people that make these decisions and things, and well, I think we should do this, and they have no clue. They have no idea. So anyway, that's what happens.
I totally hear that, and know that because I've had some discussions with other people also on our text line, which is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. A lot of people sharing their own personal experiences with drug addiction. As you know, in my own family, I have had experiences with that, and seeing how my own brother struggled pretty much for his whole life before he ended up dying. And so I hope it never comes across, even if you and I don't agree on certain things or certain ways to go about it, that I don't ever want to lose a sense of compassion.
No, and Ursula, by the way, I think that's what makes our show real. That you and I, we talk about things, and sometimes you and I might have different ways to go about things, and that's okay.
Yes.
And because I don't believe that my way, your way, everybody's different ways. Guess what? You don't have to be right. I don't have to be right, but I do want the situation to get right.
Exactly. And to improve, for sure.
All right.
Okay, well, let's get to
You
it.
asked me. We had to get it off my chest.
Well, I want that. You know, and if I can't, I usually think I can read your mind, but not always.
Yeah, okay. What you got? You about to talk about some good news?
Well, I wish. And I'm only chuckling because of the way you presented that, because we're going to talk about this wave of tech layoffs. It's not slowing down in the Seattle area. In fact, this week, nearly 200 workers lost their jobs at Salesforce and Oracle. The Seattle Times is reporting that Salesforce cut more than 90 employees from its Seattle and Bellevue offices, Oracle laying off more than 100 in Seattle alone. And these are just the latest companies to shrink their workforce after years of huge waves of hiring. Remember all that? I mean, remember when it seemed like they were just throwing money out? Well, now Amazon, Microsoft, T-Mobile, and cybersecurity firm F5 have announced thousands of job cuts this year.
Yeah.
And some companies are pointing to the increasing costs tied to artificial intelligence. If it's not the increasing cost tied to it, it's also this idea that these jobs are being replaced. But Microsoft alone says its $80 billion AI build-out has put pressure on margins. Amazon hinting that AI will eventually reduce the need for certain jobs. And you have talked about that and your fears about that. Salesforce puts it a lot more bluntly. Its CEO says, yeah, AI is already replacing thousands of support roles. So far this year, more than 4,100 tech employees in our region have been let go, with Microsoft accounting for the biggest share. Salesforce, though, if you look at it, it's hard not to notice that they also reported higher profits and revenues than last year.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Ursula? What you
Well,
feeling?
I know that you're going to bring up AI again, and we haven't even seen the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, there are going to be a lot of people not only without work, but without a lot of prospects.
Yeah.
Because they went into it thinking, hey, this is a safe field to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my Pollyanna outlook on life is always going to say, if not those initial jobs that you were hoping to get into, what does AI present as a new opportunity?
Yeah.
I guess that's the only way I can think of. Well, how do we continue to exist? And as you know, there are many jobs that that still require old-fashioned work, and AI won't help you.
I don't know if it went through. I meant to send it, and if I did or I didn't, I'm sorry. But there was a Microsoft employee that has been looking for work for the last 9 months.
Yes, you did send it.
Yeah, been looking for work. And reading up on his story, it's really scary. I was talking to a friend of mine who is in the tech world, and he told me, he said, I know you guys continue to talk about what Microsoft has done, and we talk about it all the time. And if you've been listening, you know we talk about the 15,000 people that have been laid off. And then directly after that, we tell you and remind you about the $25 billion in profit that was made. And this person in tech told me, gee, it could have been more. Because AI, we, you, me, the folks who don't really understand AI, who are just getting into this, we know so much, and we have our opinion on AI. There are people that have been working on AI for years that know way more about this. Microsoft, they know way more about AI than we do. What we're finding right now is now the tables have truly turned. Like, they have truly turned. And for the first time in years, there are more people, obviously, that are looking for work than jobs can be found. And the competition is going to get tighter. Your way of going about life, decisions on going to college and making these decisions, I feel like, Ursula, when we were younger, we were in our 20s, you could make mistakes and you can go do this job and you could get your credit bad and you can make all these bad mistakes and you still have an opportunity to bounce back. I think, unfortunately, the world we live in today, I think there's very little time to make a bounce back in this one.
Okay, that's bleak.
One mistake, one bad decision in your 20s can carry you forever, because right now the competition is real. So I will help you out, and I will side with you on something.
What's that?
Don't panic, prepare.
Yes,
Don't
exactly.
complain,
it's all the preparation.
compete. You're going to have to, that crying falls on deaf ears. Nobody cares. You're going to have to, get ready, knuckle up a little bit, and get ready to put that grind in, because it's getting ready to get real.
Okay. Now, I'm speaking to those of you who are in jobs right now and you are staying in that job for fear that if you leave, as miserable as you are right now, you fear that if you leave, you are not going to find something nearly as good.
Watch this text line light up.
Yeah, I want to hear from you. Text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I'm not going to get specific, but someone I love very much is in a position right now that is, I fear, is truly killing him. And when I say 14-hour days every day, including the weekend right now. And this person is making a lot of money. but feeling very stuck. And it's a constant grind, but this fear of, if I leave right now, like, first of all, that's not going to look good, and secondly, am I going to get something that's better?
Mm-hmm. That's real. And that question that you just asked, Ursula, about if you're in a job or if you know someone that is in a job that are staying there because of this reality that's happening right now. Yeah. There are more unemployed people than job openings, and you're like, hey, I need to keep this job. I had this conversation just this weekend, and the question was to a group of people, if you weren't doing the job you're doing right now, what would you do? I would say that most people really don't have the answer to that. And here's why they don't have the answer. It's not that they can't do other jobs. The problem is can they go and do another job and make as much money as they were at that current job? That's the problem. That's the problem in tech right now. Tech is having that problem where they can't go find a job paying them as much as that last job.
Right. Exactly. And what do? I mean, because it's not sustainable to keep working 14, 16 hours a day, period. 7 days a week.
I'll tell you what I've been doing. Since we want to be vulnerable right now,
yeah,
I'll tell y'all what I've been doing. I've been cutting on all my expenses. I've been
smart.
Oh, speaking of AI?
Smart.
No, I've been talking, me and AI been going, we got a plan, Ursula. We've been going through, cutting on. I have to make sure that I am able to, or our house is able to sustain and go on
single income.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. I am preparing. Hey, that way, it's like Floyd Mayweather say, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Well, I want to point out, so it's not, because we're talking a lot about tech, but it's the latest jobs report is raising new concerns about the entire U.S. economy. So for the first time since 2021, the number of unemployed Americans has actually outnumbered available jobs, which again ends up making people feel like they're stuck, even if they're employed. Mm-hmm. So they're miserable. In July, there were about 7.2 million job seekers, but only 7.18 million openings, which is lower than economists had expected. And private sector opportunities have now fallen for 2 months in a row. We're talking especially in healthcare and in entertainment. And of course, this comes as President Trump's trade war and immigration crackdown ripple through the labor market. Mm-hmm. So economists say fewer workers coming into the country could reduce overall economic output in the years ahead. And while unemployment remains relatively low at 4.2%, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell calls the slowdown curious and warns the risks of rising layoffs are growing.
Yeah. And this is all, Ursula, this is a sign right here that companies are, they're preparing. They're preparing for the economy, which is definitely cooling right now, if you will. They're preparing for that. And because of that, there have been layoffs. And because of that, there have been very, very slow to hire, right? Because of this preparation for this economy. And it is scary. And probably the scariest thing, you asked a second ago about people that are stuck in their jobs and, they're stuck there because of fear of not finding something else outside of work. You want to know one of the biggest fears? Health insurance.
Oh,
how many people are tied to their job? Because that's the slippery slope.
Yeah.
Most of us, our health care, our health insurance is tied to our jobs. So there's a lot of people that's hanging on to their jobs because you need the health insurance.
So true. It is so true. Or people who've made the mistake of leaving without having health insurance who are going without it right now. And waiting. Okay, I need to bring up one other story that popped up. Speaking of jobs, a former Sparkman Cellars employee is admitting to causing more than $300,000 in damage at that Woodinville winery, all because of a pay dispute that he just couldn't let go. So his name is Mark Griswold, And he pleaded guilty this week to trespassing and malicious mischief. And the judge ordered him to pay nearly $50,000 in restitution and to undergo a mental health evaluation. Also needs to stay away from the winery.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a part that might surprise you.
Come on.
No jail time. Remember, I told you $300,000 damage. Prosecutors say Griswold slipped into the barrel room just before Thanksgiving of 2023 using an old employee access code, and security cameras caught him opening the valves on 2 massive tanks and dumping 2,300 gallons of wine in just 6 minutes. Senior Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Stephanie Sato tells King 5 News this was his way of getting revenge against the owners.
He had asked for a 25% raise, and they were not financially able to do that, but they said they met him halfway and did give him a raise and said that they could have another conversation later that year.
Now, the Sparkman family says the vandalism didn't just devastate their business, it left them and their staff fearful. And when Griswold was asked in court to explain himself, he offered Zippo. His only word was guilty. I mean, no jail sentence, no jail time.
This feel like he had a good lawyer. You know what I mean? You ever had a rich friend or those rich family members that get away with stuff because they had money? This feels like this person had a lawyer. That's no PD. That's no public defender.
Like, who was the judge on this one? It should be a Class B felony, up to 10 years in prison, up to $20,000 in fine. He gets no jail time, and he only has to pay, $50,000 in restitution?
Can you make that point you made earlier?
Did you hear the part about asking for a 25% raise? And then getting upset that he didn't get it? Like, dude.
Yeah. Can you
look around?
Make that point you made earlier. You remember that point you made earlier?
No, what did I say?
You said, Gee, can you remember a time?
Oh.
That was
good.
When
was the last time we ever talked about a sentence being too harsh?
I've been thinking about that question ever since. Mm-hmm.
Like, are we missing something here?
Yeah.
Like, you can do all that and not get jail time? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. All right, we got scenarios. That's happening at 10:47. And all I got for this topic coming up next, we're going to have a fun thing. It's Forever Young. Ursula, would you want to be forever young? There's a song that I can sing.
Yes.
You would? Okay. All right, well, we'll talk about that.
I'm working on it.
We'll talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. VapoCool.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. U.S. senators are demanding answers from Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senator Mark Warner of Virginia asking,
"Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?" "I don't know how many died." "You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID?" "I don't think anybody knows because the..."
Data from Johns Hopkins show more than 1 million Americans died from COVID. Washington Congresswoman Kim Schreier, a pediatrician, is among those calling for Kennedy to resign.
I want to be really clear that his theories
are baseless and fringe, and that he cannot be trusted for 1 second.
More than 1,000 current and former HHS workers are demanding Kennedy resign, saying his vaccine and other policies are endangering public health. Federal immigration agents would be kept out of areas where firefighters are battling wildfires under an ordinance a Thurston County commissioner is introducing. This comes after Border Patrol arrested 2 firefighters and forced 42 other contract firefighters to leave the Bear Gulch wildfire.
I've been in the fire service for almost 30 years, and this is not business as usual.
Commissioner Wayne Fournier's proposal would designate emergency operations as non-interference zones. The county's legal team is reviewing the ordinance. The Bear Gulch fire near Lake Cushman has now torched more than 9,600 acres. It's only 10% contained. A judge has ended federal oversight of the Seattle Police Department after 13 years. The head of Seattle's police union says it's about time. SPOG President Mike Solon telling Seattle Red's Jason Rantz.
We've climbed over the mountain, so to speak, and we're ready to, get back to, I think, trying to recruit people to be police officers here, because we've lost half of the agency in 10 years. A lot of that over the time frame of the consent decree process.
Seattle entered the consent decree in 2012 after the Justice Department found a pattern of unnecessary use of force and bias. A federal judge ruled yesterday the SPD has made necessary changes. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 241 points, NASDAQ ahead about 100. KIRO Newsradio traffic in Maple Valley. A crash is blocking 2 lanes on State Route 169 northbound near Southeast 231st Street. Not seeing a big backup there just yet. It looks like the crash has been cleared from I-90 westbound near West Mercer Way. The bridge is wide open right now. Travel times, Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 38. Renton to Bellevue, 39. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. The Autumn Savings Event is on. Save $500 per window, $1,000 per door. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 80s. It's 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. There's a reason for that opening music. And we're going to be talking about Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. They were caught on a hot mic in Beijing. Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, yeah. So they were not talking about politics or war, but they were actually talking about organ transplants and the possibility of prolonging human life, being forever young. Okay, this exchange happened during a military parade with North Korea's Kim Jong-un walking along with them. And the live stream was carried by Chinese state TV, and it captured this unguarded moment, this hot mic moment. So here's a translation with the original audio underneath it.
Xi, in the past, it used to be rare for someone to be older than 70. And these days, they say that at 71's still a child. Putin, with the development of biotechnology, human organs can be continuously transplanted, and people can live younger and younger, and even achieve immortality. Xi, predictions are, this century, there's a chance of also living to 150 years old. Putin, modern recovery methods, medical methods, even surgical ones dealing with the replacement of organs, enable humanity to hope for active life to last longer than it does today. Average age is different in different countries, but life expectancy will increase significantly.
Okay, I know what they said is a hot mic and inadvertent. Do you think it was that unexpected, or was that very intentional? I don't know.
I think those are 3 dudes that have a lot in common, right? They got 3 dudes that are having summits. 3 dudes, 3 dictators that are getting together and laughing at the United States of America. 3 dudes who had the meeting and knew that the president of the United States would mention, because he's hurt, of not being invited to the dictator summit. As for them wanting to be, did I say something wrong?
No. I mean,
it's hard to hear, right?
Yeah. Do we even want to be part of that summit, though?
Well, I mean, doesn't anybody find it strange? No, I don't want to be a part of that. I never thought that the United States would be praising Vladimir Putin. I never thought that would happen. So these things are happening today.
This is true.
But back to it, hearing them talk, this is what I thought about that is, sure, I agree. Like, that'd be great. Life expectancy, people 70 years old now are young. They're doing their thing. No doubt about it. What this screamed to me is, it screamed life is good for them. It screamed Vladimir Putin is having the time of his life. That dude going around just visiting folks. I could go here. Imagine that. Vladimir Putin can go, a war criminal, can go anywhere in the world that he wants. When he comes to the United States, baby, he gets red carpet. He gets to ride in the presidential beast. Ursula, you ain't never rode in the presidential beast.
No, probably never will. Okay, can we turn this into a fun conversation, though?
Oh, my bad.
No.
Yeah,
no, I want because that's
that.
actually very serious.
Let's talk fun.
But let's talk fun because okay, they bring up the idea of living forever. Is that something that you would want?
Yeah.
Or
yes,
you would.
Yeah, because
or is there a year? Is there a year like okay, if I live until then, I'm good?
No. You know
really?
What? Michelle Obama talked about her mom, her mom passed away. And her mom used to say, oh, yeah, I don't want to live that long. I just want to live to about a certain and I want when I go. Well, when her mom was dying, Michelle Obama talked about how her mom says, you know what I said about that? I don't think there's ever a time that you're ready to go. That was what the mom said. And I just don't foresee there ever being a time where I'm just like, I don't know this, where I'm just ready to go. 77, 87, 97, I'm here for the long haul, baby.
Only because I have experienced it, seeing both my parents go through that, and my brother was not ready to go. He was only 55 years old. My dad was 93 and was in poor health, but he was not ready to go. He did not want to go. And I hope they don't. I don't think they would mind me sharing. In my mom's case, she was 87, but you saw her up until she was diagnosed with glioblastoma, a brain tumor. I'd
argue that your mama. I'm going to make sure I say it the right way. I'd argue with respect that your mama was enjoying her life that last year more so than years previous. Your mama was.
I would say that she was she was very happy until she got sick. But I will say that toward the very end, she was like, I'm ready. She said, I don't want to live with tubes going down my nose and this and that. And she said, I'm ready. And I think a lot of people who've seen that with their loved ones will tell you that at some point for some of them, they are very ready. It's like, and I would not want to live forever. I want to live a long, long time, but I don't want to live forever because I think it would get very lonely.
But you don't.
Like you outlive every other person that you love.
But you don't think every day. I think, Ursula, okay, one more day. Okay, one more day. Okay, one more day.
Yeah.
Because one more day to see my son, to see, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't foresee Ursula being like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. But I also don't see myself wanting to stay alive past 120. Just like I tell also when it comes to work, I only want to continue working as long as it's beneficial for me and beneficial for the company. I don't want to extend it any longer than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like life as well.
Now, the one thing I remember, we've had this discussion before, and the one thing that I never thought about, and maybe if you're listening, because I know we got some of my brothers and sisters that are 85 plus that listen to our show. The one thing that I never thought of was living so long that your loved ones, you've outlived all of them. Yeah. So all of your friends or your family. So right now, you know what I mean? It's just you. That would be lonely.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said, let's turn it into a fun conversation because that's kind of deep too.
Oh, it never got fun?
Okay, text text us. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Maybe you know what, Ursula? Maybe you don't like fun anymore on a Gee Ursula Show.
Stop it. Okay, you're going to turn it around. 1047
okay.
Scenarios.
In scenarios, coming up next, the title: I'm a widow, lonely, and nobody cares.
Okay, and then I'm going to prove you wrong about me no longer enjoying life and having fun and then wanting to bring fun to the Gee and Ursula Show.
Yeah.
We're going to bring some fun in the 11 o'clock hour, the end of the 11 o'clock segment. So around 11:20, you're going to hear some audio of me doing something I've never done before in Vegas. Never. And I will never do it again.
Okay.
But you'll hear it.
All right.
And you'll even see it if you get on YouTube.
More of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Leaking in rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Hey there, Lori from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Want to keep your home happy and prevent roof water damage? The answer is gutters. So if you're looking for gutter installation, cleaning, gutter guards, or repair, Guardian is here to the rescue. With Guardian's exclusive gutter and gutter protection systems, we are able to provide our own 30-year no-clog guarantee on all gutter systems we install. Call today and get $250 off a gutter guard installation or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up, or when you store. Start with Stable.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hey homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
GLP-1 weight loss medications are powerful, but without medical oversight, they can also be risky.
At Longevity Medical Clinics, we don't believe in shortcuts. We believe in real medicine, real monitoring, and real results. Our GLP-1 weight loss program is personalized to your biology with lab work, ongoing adjustments, and medical professionals guiding you every step of the way. Here's the truth. These medications can suppress appetite and help you lose weight. But if no one is monitoring your heart, your blood sugar, or your overall health, you could be putting your body at risk. That's why we test, track, and fine-tune so your results are safe and sustainable. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. We combine the power of modern medicine with the confidence of medical oversight so you can focus on feeling better, stronger, and healthier. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit longevitymedicalclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics.
Celebrate 31 seasons of world-class jazz with the Seattle Repertory Jazz Orchestra at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. 4 nights of hard-swinging big band favorites with guest vocalist Jacqueline Tabor. This Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
Oh, Ursula said she did something that she's never done before.
In Vegas.
She will never do again, and she wants to share it with you. Now, I don't know why she wants to share it, but hey, if she wants to spice up the show, then that's what you do.
Well, I also want to point out that you're never too old to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work out for you, that's okay too.
Would you say it worked out for you?
I survived it. I want to know if you would do the same thing, though.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah, the next time you go to Vegas, would you sign up for this?
Okay.
By the way, it was my friend Sonia who signed me up.
And by the way, Sonia is that one friend that everybody has that if you hang around them too much, whoo-wee. Love you, Sonia. All right, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I have a very odd situation. My husband passed away unexpectedly a month ago. We were thinking about separating when he passed, and my friends knew all about it. I wanted out of the relationship, but I was still shocked by his death. We have no children. I relocated with him before we got married, and I have nobody to talk to. My friends act like I shouldn't be sad, like zero empathy. They act like this is the best thing that could have happened to me. How can I explain to them that I'm hurting, even though we were potentially about to split up? Him dying has still made me hurt. 888-973-5476. Ursula, you have the bat first.
First of all, you don't have to explain your emotions and your feelings to anybody. And if they're not willing to understand where you're coming from, then I would question that friendship. You loved that person for how many years were you married? You were married to that person. And even though you were planning to split, that doesn't mean you feel joy or glee when they pass away. Mm-hmm. You still love that person. That person is not going to be there. You just couldn't be married. You weren't in a good marriage together.
Right.
That doesn't mean you don't care about that person.
Right.
So I don't know that she has to prove anything. Why does she feel like unless there's an inheritance or some money to be had that they're going to accuse her of not really caring about him. But again, that's none of their business.
Yeah. That's a little strange, though, to just think that just because they were gonna split up at the time of his unexpected death, that she wouldn't be sad anymore about him passing away. Like, you don't. Well, I'll say this. I got one for you. Then the advice would be, you need to tell them you're hurting.
Yes.
You need to tell them, hey, the way you explained it to us, explain it to them. Because maybe they don't know. Maybe they had just assumed that you were already so done in that relationship that you were going to split up. Maybe they don't know. Sometimes you got to tell people, hey, listen.
And maybe you did a lot of bad mouthing. And maybe you got your friends to be on your side about how horrible of a person he was.
Why do y'all be doing that, Ursula? Why when you guys go...
Wait. Don't look at me.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're saying that why do women do that?
I'm about to make a sweeping statement.
Okay, you're gearing up for that sweeping statement. Yeah. So you think all women do that? Like they talk...
I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get in trouble.
No, do women talk with friends about their relationship troubles? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Here's where I think that is different. I think when women talk to their friends about their relationships and their problems, I think the difference between the women and the fellas, that the women say, oh, girl, really? Oh, man, he's terrible. I don't think you all get honest feedback. I think the feedback you get is just to go along, to get along type feedback.
Boy, that is a sweeping statement.
That's pretty sweeping.
I think it all depends on your friendships, your level of friendships, how deep they are.
But 90% of the time.
Based on nothing. Gee's experience. Wouldn't you wish that you could have those kind of conversations? I mean, the actual real ones.
Fellas do. We do have those real conversations.
Okay.
They'd be like, hey, man, you tripping.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you tripping.
Okay, and then when there is the eventual breakup, are they shocked? Like, do you? I mean, so I think it can.
You guys handle breakups better than we do.
Oh,
you guys definitely. Look, I'm continuing to make sweeping statements.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. This is based on what?
I'm not. By the way, I'm not married to these sweeping statements. I'm just having conversation. I'm kind of practicing a little bit, but I do think in this case she needs to really let her friends know, hey, look, I know the things that I told you. I know that I said that we were going to separate and all those things. I'm still hurting. This is a very serious time.
I love. Wait, hold on.
What's that?
Sassy says, Ursula, don't you think she made it their business when she shared about her relationship? Yes, to a certain degree, yes. But if she turns around and says, I still cared about him, I don't understand how friends wouldn't understand that sentiment. Like, yeah, we were going to get divorced, but I still care about him as a person. He's dead.
Yeah. Now, okay, before I get to Nick, maybe, I don't know this, but maybe she talked so bad about the husband before he passed away, and automatically when he died, none of the things changed. The only different thing that changed is he died.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to. So people think that you're supposed to say nice things when they die.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you got?
Well, maybe you were thinking about splitting before the passing, and it wasn't necessarily a relationship that was going to last, but nobody can or wants to get used to someone passing, and they don't want, not as a partner either, but it's still rough letting go of anyone for the long run. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I don't, keep up with my exes today and don't see what they're doing or up to, but I still feel if I hear they're not here anymore, hearing about anybody passing is not great.
Now, Carrie in Cedar Woolley said that my ex and I had not been together for 28 years, and I was devastated when he died, I think because I knew he was such a big part of our kids' lives.
Yeah. Well, 206 just made me feel better.
Okay.
206 says, Gee's sweeping statement is mostly correct. Definitely more than 50% of women give their friends what they want to hear.
Again, based on what? Your own experience.
Dad of 3 daughters and an open communication wife. I've seen so many women give bad advice by not being honest to their friends.
Okay.
And you want to know what it's usually led by? Misery loves company. All right, let me get out of here before I get in trouble. Hey, coming up next, Ursula's about to share it, y'all. She's going to tell y'all what she did, why she won't ever do it again. Next, Gee Ursula.
She goes away. Anytime she goes away.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is facing a grilling by lawmakers over the administration's policies on vaccines and the recent ouster of CDC officials.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you.
And I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again.
President Trump's nominee to join the Federal Reserve Board of Governors has been facing some questions about his independence. Linda Kenyon reports.
Senior White House economic advisor Stephen Myron told senators he plans to take unpaid leave instead of resigning from the White House if he's confirmed to fill a short-term role at the Federal Reserve. The Fed is supposed to be independent from the White House, so his answer has raised some concerns. President Trump has been an outspoken outspoken critic of the Fed and Chairman Jerome Powell and has pressured them to lower interest rates.
The District of Columbia has sued to stop Trump's deployment of the National Guard. The Attorney General says it amounts to an involuntary military occupation of Washington. There was a meeting today of European leaders to discuss security for Ukraine after a ceasefire. President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, was there and held a private meeting with Ukraine's president afterwards. CBS's Robert Costa spoke to Trump last night about his strategy.
At this point, he is watching. He said not only what the Russian leader Vladimir Putin and the Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky are doing, but what European leaders are doing. And my sources inside the Trump White House add that President Trump wants to see what explicitly is put on the table by our European allies when it comes to financials, when it comes to troop movements, if any. So the White House is really watching to see what's possible should these negotiations ever get sparked to bring Putin and Zelensky together.
The Israeli military is moving ahead with its new offensive in Gaza City, but reporter Robert Berger tells us it's slow going because so many civilians refuse to leave.
According to Palestinian eyewitnesses, there are tanks just a few miles now from the center of Gaza City, but only 80,000 or so Palestinians have moved out of a population of 1 million. The army wants them all to move out, but people are very reluctant to do that.
Israel's foreign minister said today his government would not agree to a visit by the French president as long as President Macron plans to recognize a Palestinian state. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage fell again this week. It's at 6.5%. That's the lowest since last October. On Wall Street, stocks are higher today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What you'll pay to eat at Seahawks games at Lumen Field. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Maple Valley, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on State Route 169 northbound near Southeast 231st Street. Not seeing a big backup still. That's about your only trouble spot, and your travel times are looking good. Everett to Seattle, 30 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 32. Renton to Bellevue, 20. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. The Autumn Savings event is on. Save $500 per window, $1,000 per door.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
We will not relent. We will not give up.
But bones found by searchers are providing no clue to where Travis Decker is. Tests show they are not human. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says they were picked up during a recent grid search of the Leavenworth area campground where the bodies of Decker's 3 young daughters were found in June.
Looking into similar cases, we found that historically and typically the youth found the homicide suspect and those responsible within a quarter mile of the scene, either alive and or deceased.
Investigators are examining other items recovered to see if they're related to the case. A South Sound car dealership is taking drastic steps after 18 catalytic converters were stolen from cars in one night. Dinsmore Auto Group owner Ken Dinsmore tells Seattle Red's Jason Rantz.
$100,000 in damage. It makes my stomach just sink thinking about it, honestly.
The place has been hit about 10 times, so he says now they plan to leave the converters off their vehicles, then install them once somebody buys them. A smash and grab at an Eastlake mailing service leaves customers reeling. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau with more on that.
Employees walked in to find packages, letters, and notary seals gone, mail on the ground, and a printer ripped out of the wall, damaging much of the wiring.
It looks like they grabbed whatever they could off of the shelves that was easy pickings.
Some customers even reported fraudulent activity from their personal accounts soon after. Lake Union Mail says they're heartbroken knowing the impact this has had on their loyal customers.
They are making security upgrades. Swedish is hitting pause on parts of its big expansion in Seattle. The health system says rising costs and budget cuts are to blame. CEO Dr. Elizabeth Waco tells the Puget Sound Business Journal the delay affects one of 2 new buildings planned for the First Hill campus. The Seahawks kick off their 50th season this Sunday against the 49ers. But if you go to Lumen Field hungry, KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson says you'd better bring some extra cash.
Seahawks games featuring some of the priciest food in the NFL last year, according to sportscasting.com. A beer and hot dog combo costing nearly $20, $12 more than the cheapest combo in Atlanta.
We have a really good program here. We have value.
The value program started in the middle of last year. The 12s combo includes a 7 $7 beer and $5 hot dog. But that value deal is still more expensive than regular prices at 7 NFL stadiums.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, September 4th. I got text messages asking me, so what did Ursula do? I said, oh, shoot, you got to wait. You got to wait to find out.
Okay, you know what? Special treat for all of you who are watching the show on YouTube.
Oh, we're going to bless the people on YouTube?
Yes, because you are going to see it. You will be seeing it before so many of my family members are going to see it. Okay?
Okay.
But
must go to YouTube to see it.
You have to see it on YouTube, and then we'll post it on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Okay.
Okay, be kind, though, okay? Because I look like a fool.
Do you? All right.
The helmet looks good on you.
Okay, I might have to.
Please.
I might have to go
okay.
to.
Yeah, no, this is, like I said, I'm one and done. But I had a good time.
Okay.
Before I got sick. But in any case, yeah, it'll be up there in about 10 minutes. So make sure you watch that. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Of course, we're going to be doing Agree to Disagree. A little different today because G will be leaving a little bit early today. So it'll be Chef and I agreeing to disagree.
That's right.
Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
The fallout from those firefighter arrests at the Bear Gulch wildfire just keeps growing. One of the men, according to his attorneys, has lived in the U.S. since he was 4 years old, had been waiting 7 years on a legal status application, and even qualified for a special visa back in 2018. But instead of fighting fires, he is now sitting in an ICE facility in Tacoma.
He's an Oregonian, right? This is the only country and home he's ever known.
Attorney Jordan Cunnings tells KOMO 4 News he was fully engaged in the firefight, while Homeland Security tried to downplay his role, saying he wasn't directly on the fire lines. She says that is a distinction without a difference.
He was clearly engaged in active wildfire response, and any attempt to paint his work as otherwise is a cowardly attempt to distract from the real issues here.
And now Thurston County Commissioner Wayne Fournier is pushing a new ordinance to keep immigration agents out of wildfire zones. He is a longtime firefighter, and he says arresting firefighters mid-emergency creates a dangerous disruption and could scare off future crews.
How does it affect other crews that are thinking about, participating in other operations?
His proposal would make wildfire zones non-interference zones, forcing federal agents to go through fire commanders before making contact.
If the federal authorities are going to come in to one of our emergency zones, some emergency operation, they should do it through the chain of command that exists.
Now, ICE insists that detainees have access to legal help, and fire officials claim losing the two men didn't impact containment. But Fournier is not buying it, and that raises the bigger question for all of you. When we've got a wildfire like the one that is still not contained, should immigration enforcement take a back seat so that the firefighters can do their jobs? Or do you have any issue with what happened? Okay, well,
this is what's happening right now. Like, am I gonna be any more upset about this topic because of they were fighting fires at the time than others? No, not really, because it was two that was taken away, and this whole discussion centered around, of course, mass deportation, which is happening right now. As you all know, we are going to continue to see most of this. This is the climate that we are in. So with that being said, I don't know, Ursula. I don't have a problem with what happened.
I do.
You do?
Given more information now, given that like this one of the men, having lived in the United States since he was 4, was waiting 7 years on a legal status application. Why can't you sort that out without actually going to the lines? What I think is a bigger issue, though, is what is happening with these contracts and these contractors. And I think more information needs to come out there in terms of what they're doing when it comes to, who is eligible, who can work these jobs. But I think this Thurston County commissioner is on the right track.
So we should all be mad at the BLM folks, right? Because aren't they the ones that contacted ICE to come and help them out, because this agency, technically, air quotes, they were going to be getting rid of the contract of this agency. So, hey, we need to go out there and you need to assist.
Yeah. Again, does it need to be on the scene of this fire, or could it have been handled in a different way?
It could have.
Yes.
It actually could have.
Yes.
But it didn't.
Yeah. And so I like what this Thurston County commissioner is saying. Yeah. I mean, if there are people who shouldn't be on the fire lines, deal with it in a way that it's not in the midst of this firefighting effort.
I mean, hey, I agree with that, Ursula. I agree that there are better ways to handle things. No-knock warrants or things that I don't like, right? There's a lot of things that can be handled differently, but as you all know, that we have a history in this country where sometimes they want to make a big deal out of it. They want to show and the theatrics
and
part
maybe
of
that's it
and make it look a certain type of way. So I'm with you. We're on the same wavelength. We're not arguing or nothing. They could have gone about it a different way.
How about just not deporting legal immigrants, period, or people that qualify for legal status that you haven't bothered to process a claim for, who especially are working in a public safety service sector?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's something everyone agrees on.
This particular person seemed like the wrong one to target. I mean, and again, this would have been sorted out had they not wanted to make it such a public thing, because it made national news.
Yeah.
I mean, and if that was the goal, then goal completed, because it made national news and it probably does have the effect of scaring people. Yeah. So I guess good job there, but I think that there should be a different way to go about it. Hey, this story caught my eye, this next story.
Okay.
And maybe it's because someone crashed my birthday party, it turns out. I didn't know about this, but police in Glendale, California are searching for a suspected wedding crasher who stole about $60,000 in cash and checks from a newlywed couple. The theft happened just after midnight at a banquet hall, and the surveillance video shows this guy, described as in his 40s, bald, and of either Middle Eastern or white descent, walking into the reception, mingling with the guests, even grabbing a drink at the bar, before slipping out with a large gift box. And witnesses say he then jumped into a black Mercedes SUV and drove off. And the bride told ABC News it was terrifying to realize that someone could invade such an intimate moment, while the groom said they're thankful that no one was hurt. And I heard their interview, and I know it actually was a friend of mine who shared the story with me, and she said that it is common in the Persian community, and I believe it was a Persian couple, and it's common in their culture to give large cash gifts. So I believe someone knew that taking off with that box was going to be a big chunk of change, because it ended up being, what did I say, $60,000 in cash and checks.
Well, wait a minute.
I do not have that in my box, just FYI. And no one took my box, but someone did crash my party. 2 people.
They did?
Yeah.
What happened?
Apparently they walked right in. My friend Layla told me she busted them. So you know how the food was at the back?
The back, yeah.
Yeah, and I was up at the front, and we were doing the toasts and all that kind of stuff. They came marching in the back, started helping themselves to the food. But
how did Layla know that?
She knew who was there and who wasn't there.
How did she know that they didn't belong?
They fit the description?
No, apparently they just came off one of those party boats.
Yeah.
And then so she's like, "Hey, who are you?" And she said, she told him that's not cool, because they were helping themselves, and they were like, "Oh, the caterer said it was okay." Now, there was a lot of food. Did we miss any food? No. But it's not okay to just, like, who does that? Walk into a bloody party that you're not Wait, why are you taking your glasses off?
You ain't never done this before?
I've never crashed at someone's party.
For real?
Okay, stop. You for real?
I am for real. Yeah,
You've crashed someone's party?
Yes.
And helped yourself to the food?
Well, you guys have been to hotels before, and you've been to hotels and they got the rooms, and usually got the receptions down there.
I
and some
have
of the
never.
And you go in there like, oh, hey, congratulations. It's who's Manny? Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm G. Nice to meet you. Hey, oh, come on in. Help yourself. You guys have never crashed a party that you didn't get invited to.
No, I have not.
Yeah, like in high school or like college age when there's like big house party going on.
No, you're not stealing.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not. If anything, you're adding joy to the party.
Well, you might add joy. Some of us don't.
No,
Yo,
I wasn't
know I'm not
spending,
Ursula,
I wasn't spending
there's
money to feed them. No.
But
no.
but
and it's okay. Now, if it was an unhoused person who came in and said, "Can I have food?" I would have loaded them up.
Oh,
okay?
so I got to be unhoused to get some food?
No.
Really?
No. But I'm
I
just
can't
saying,
have a crib and come get some food.
Someone just walk in. No,
Ursula, the
that's
amount
so rude.
of food. Okay, first of all, the amount of food that you had was insane. Wait a minute, your food. Let me explain to y'all something. The food was so
I overdid it.
The food was so intense that when you go to grab one of the Wagyu steak sliders, as soon as you grab it, it gets replaced. The folks kept coming out. If 10 to 15
people coming off a party boat can go walk in there and help themselves.
If 15 people came to the party and ate, would you have missed it? No. How much leftovers did you have,
Yeah,
Ursula?
we had a lot. And you know what? I was happy to give it to family and friends. But guess what? Had Layla not stopped them, they would have helped themselves to the bar, too. That's rude.
Who wants a bunch of randos at their party?
Thank you.
And by the way, like, what could possibly be your motivation, aside from just pure hunger, from, like, walking into a party and being like, hey!
Happiness!
Oh,
There's a lot of people happy.
Okay, I'm not even looking at the text line. Are people agreeing with you that, hey, yeah, why not let them in?
They're absolutely crushing me right now. But the thing is,
it's just rude. It's absolutely rude.
I'm not rude though when I do it. When I come to the party,
you know what? If you came to me and said, "Hey, you didn't invite me, but would it be okay if I'd be like, "Yes, absolutely."
I'm gonna
but just
tell
crashing
you,
it? No, that's rude.
This is where some looks and a smile matter. You mean to tell me you come in? Oh, whose birthday is it? Oh, it's her. Ursula. Oh, it's your birthday. You know what? You look fantastic.
No,
Happy birthday to you.
They did not bother.
But if they would have done that, it would have helped.
Yes. Then I would have said, "Hey, go help yourself to some food."
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
But that's not what you said.
They went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, they did.
Even if you get invited to a party, you never come to a party and go right to the food without speaking to people.
You just don't crash a party.
Yes, you.
No, you don't unless you have the explicit okay from the host.
Is this a cultural thing? Like,
no.
I would feel like such a jerk.
Hold on. You trying to say you've never been to in a park.
Oh my God, even worse.
And there's
just help myself to someone's barbecue.
But you don't go up to the barbecue first. You're like, oh, okay, hey, whose birthday is it? Or it's a family reunion. You never been to a family reunion that wasn't your family?
Heck no. But that's also a different situation. That's not what happened here. These people got off a boat on Lake Union and went into my party and helped themselves and lied about the caterer saying it was okay. That's not cool.
Nick, you ain't never been to a party that wasn't one you was invited to.
Well, like Chef said, it was a long time ago, back when I was in high school. Maybe like after parties, like for proms and tolos and stuff like that. But
well, and in this case, in Glendale, California, someone took off with their box of checks for $60,000. That's not cool. That's real theft.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
Between now and the end of the year, I'm going to, because you do this all the time. You go to, you've gone to listeners' parties and all that kind of stuff.
I don't do it all the time. I did it once.
Oh.
It's a Super Bowl party.
Oh.
By the way, I used her caterer. That was so good.
Yeah. Did not see that lady at the, that's a nice lady.
I invited
nice.
her.
I like
She's
her.
so awesome.
I like her.
Thank
She's
you,
awesome. I'm gonna go to a party. I'm gonna come to one of y'all's party. Maybe you have a Seahawks game.
But again, that means you're invited. That means you are invited. You don't just show
When I come, I'm going to bring like 5 or 6 people who weren't invited.
That is so rude. Okay. Are we going to talk? Okay. Are we ready to go on YouTube? Okay. So I went to Vegas last weekend, and yes, I did get sick in Vegas. And yes, I shameless that I ended up having to call in sick on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. However, on Saturday, my friend Sonia said, as your birthday gift, she wanted to treat me to this supercar driving experience. Now, I said I wasn't going to be the one behind the wheel, but I decided to go ahead and join. Sonia was in the back seat. I'm in the front seat. So if you're watching right now, you see us both have the helmets. She's laughing hysterically in the back. I'm laughing hysterically because this guy is doing, what do you call those when they sweep around? Okay, here we go. Okay, so...
Oh, YouTube is fire right now. Everybody on YouTube.
Okay, so this is
that you laughing?
Yes. Wait, hang on. I'll let you listen. Hang on. Okay, he's going anywhere from 80 miles to over 100 miles per hour. He's whipping around. He's whipping around, drifting. So he's doing the drifting thing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I said, it's like driving around Seattle in the snow. That's me. And here I was. It was a paid experience. We were out of control. He was fully in control.
Was it scary?
It was scary as all get out.
Was it?
But as a new 60-year-old,
yeah.
It was an experience that I will never forget. I hadn't laughed that hard in such a long time.
Compared to a roller coaster.
I don't think that was because I knew the guy who was driving was really experienced.
So you weren't really scared?
No. It was exciting. Mm-hmm. I don't need to do it again. At some point in time, we'll post it on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page if you don't mind, Chef. You'll see where I'm kind of breathing, like I'm trying to control my breathing because I'm like, I don't want to have a heart attack right now.
Right.
So it was exotic, what is it called? Exotic speed racing, exoticracing.com. You can find out more about that there.
Right.
And I suggest doing it. Like Sonia actually got behind a Lamborghini. She actually drove it. Mm-hmm. And you can do that as well. Right. I was just a passenger.
B in Puyallup says, gee, there's a private event at my work on Saturday starting at 3. You can come crash it.
Okay.
All right. We better get that video up on our Facebook page so people can see it. We'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey there, Dawn Ryland from Olympic Hot Tub.
It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. Openphone.com/FREE.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
With over 20 new home communities throughout the Puget Sound area, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell grilling Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this morning.
You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me. And, sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are.
There's growing concern. Doctors and scientists are being forced out of the CDC as RFK Jr. remakes the agency. More than 1,000 former and current HHS workers signed a letter demanding he resign, saying his vaccine and other policies are endangering public health. This is such a concern that Washington, Oregon, and California are coming up with their own vaccine policies.
State Health Secretary Dennis Worsham says from here on, if any CDC guidance on any health issue, not just vaccines, appears rooted in politics instead of science, the newly formed West Coast Health Alliance will seek guidance from other trusted health organizations.
We as an alliance will work together to review the data that is being put out from these academies and these national organizations in order to make recommendations for the people here in the state of Washington.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Federal immigration agents would be kept out of areas where firefighters are battling wildfires under an ordinance a Thurston County commissioner is introducing. This comes after Border Patrol agents arrested 2 firefighters and forced 42 other contract firefighters to leave the Bear Gulch wildfire. Commissioner Wayne Fournier tells me he fought fires for 30 years.
When you're trying to save lives and property, it is not the time or the place to go in and interfere.
His proposal would designate emergency operations as non-interference zones. The county's legal team is reviewing his proposed ordinance. The Bear Gulch fire, meantime, near Lake Cushman, has now torched more than 9,600 acres. It's only 10% contained. The fire is burning through steep terrain, making it tough to fight. After 13 years, a judge has ended federal oversight of the Seattle Police Department. The department was under U.S. Justice Department supervision after a lawsuit over bias and use of force at the SPD.
Seattle police say they've now expanded training in de-escalation and cultural competency, increased transparency, and community engagement. And Mayor Bruce Harrell says Chief Sean Barnes is the right person to lead the department into a new era.
Chief Barnes has been out there in the field, and he talked about having over 300 community meetings, making sure that our culture reflects that which the community wants.
In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 297 points, NASDAQ ahead 128. Nate Connors is at the KIRO News Radio Traffic Center.
Hi, Heather. Seattle Seahawks has our update. Let's start you in Bellevue, where just moments ago we cleared the stalled vehicle from the 520 on-ramp to North 405. That was our only blocking issue, so we're wide open out there. Both directions of I-5, little crowded, heading through downtown Seattle. South 5 starts in Northgate. North 5 starts here at the West Seattle Bridge. Linwood to Seattle and South Center to Seattle are both right around 20-minute commutes. A reminder, through Lake Forest Park, State Route 104 is closed at 35th Avenue. That's kind of right in the middle of Lake Forest Park and Shoreline for the next month plus for road work. Seattle to Federal Way, 20 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood is a 15-minute commute. 12's tickets for the Seahawks 50th season are on sale now. Let's pack Lumen Field, bring the noise, and make history together this season. Secure your seats today at Seahawks.com/tickets. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you, and an apology to those of you who were checking us out on YouTube and waiting for that video. It didn't work out, but we do now have it posted, Chef, correctly on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page, so you can see it there. And again, be kind, because I think I look crazy and I sound even crazier, but I did have a good time, and I'm one and done.
You have a good Mario Kart look to you, actually.
Okay, but now it is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
All right, let's swing over to the UK one for an interesting employment law case. There's a woman who was in a meeting with 2 of her bosses. Things apparently got rather heated, and she called both of them an expletive. I'll call that D-heads. She called them D-heads. She was summarily fired on the spot. A judge in the UK has now ruled that she was fired unfairly because, A, she had no history of abusing her bosses, It didn't meet the bar for gross misconduct, and her contract required a warning first, so they did not follow process because they told her to pack up and leave immediately.
To which I say, that's a bunch of BS. I'm sorry, but if I call both of my managers a D word or anything equivalent, I would expect to be fired. And I don't know labor laws in
the UK.
But here I would think that would seem to be egregious. That is complete disrespect. I would not expect to have my job. So more power to you in the UK if you can get away with that. But I think that would be a tough one.
Okay. The only ground I can stand on here is if it is in your contract.
Yes.
That you require a prior warning before they let you go. And the only thing you're told is, that's it, pack up and leave. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, that's relatively common in this country because, when I was in kitchens, there were multiple times where I told people, get out of here right now, grab your knives, grab your bag, and get out.
Mm-hmm.
But in pretty much every other job, I've never seen that happen. There always has to be a process. Do you believe in the process? Like the improvement plan that you lay out for employees? Like, what do you think about that level of hoops to jump through?
Yeah, the personal improvement plan, otherwise known as a PIP, is, in my opinion, a way for companies to avoid lawsuits, wrongful termination lawsuits in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will say that of the PIPs that I have seen done, I have seen 2 where someone actually succeeded and actually
got out of those?
Yes, and actually became a strong contributor to our operation. More often than not, it is just a way to make sure this is my opinion again.
Yeah.
I's are dotted and T's are crossed before you are going to do what is the inevitable, which is to let that person go.
See, this bothers me. It bothers me in the same way that settling these cases by former workers, like the workers who've, sued the city of Seattle for, sexual discrimination or harassment, whatever it is in the workplace. They're often not even gone through a discovery phase. They just end up settling the case. I think it sets a precedent when you have to jump through hoops to fire people that we tolerate poor and middling behavior. Because especially if you're dealing with like union employees, I remember talking to my dad, he worked for the city of Seattle, and he would talk about people that he worked with who were clearly not performing.
Yes.
But it would take a year to get people out the door.
Yes.
Do you think employment law is sometimes too tight, or is it just
I
lawyers?
think it can go, well, and again, I think it can go both ways. Because conversely, you also hear of those situations where someone is on the receiving end of something vengeful or just the 2 personalities didn't mesh.
Didn't clash.
Or ended up clashing. And so it was one of those things where they're unfairly terminated, even though they were highly
decent
competent,
employee.
right?
Yeah.
And doing everything that they were supposed to be doing. It's just someone didn't like them. So I can see it go both ways, but I think in terms of what happened in the UK, I'm shocked that a judge would say, yeah, you can call your bosses a D-head and still get away with it.
All right. There's so much hand-wringing these days about, screen time with our kids.
Yes.
Vox has an article today questioning whether parents should consider giving their kids earlier. Like giving the kids the phone earlier, like 3 years old. They say that if you start early with guardrails and you teach responsibility, you can actually teach these healthy habits that prevent people from having issues down the road with screen time addiction. What say you to that?
I think this is one of those Vox articles looking for it's a clickbait.
It's provocative.
Kind of thing. It's provocative.
Yes.
Imagine saying, this is a good thing to have your 3-year-old now conditioned to use their smartphones. What does a 3-year-old need a smartphone for? I think we're skewing way too young. And I would do everything in my power if I had it to do over again to teach them the right things when it is age appropriate. More like 12 or 13 when they're going into middle school versus when they're 3?
I hate to break it to you, but this is already happening.
Because
with
they
most
do other
parents.
kinds of toys.
And I'm not talking about the iPad kids, but my daughter's 4. She knows how to use Spotify. She has her own playlist, and she'll play her songs, and she'll rock out for like a whole hour and be entertained by Spotify.
That is cute.
I think we have an attitude in this country towards abstinence that is often unhealthy. If you look at drinking cultures in Europe where, if you're 7 years old, you have a little sip of red wine at the table, no big deal. People would look at you like you're murdering your child if you did that in the United States. And as a result, people there have a healthier relationship with alcohol. I want to keep the smartphone, like the personal phone, out of my kids' hands as long as possible. But if you say, I'm not going to let kids use devices, period, until they're 16, it's like all those kids that never did anything bad in high school, and they go nuts when they go to college.
Or you hear about the pastor's child.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. The strictures are so tight that the reward of the forbidden behavior becomes too sweet.
Huh. Well, what do you think? Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And if you missed it and you want to check out our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page, you can see me looking crazy in a speeding car in Vegas. And yes, I was drifting. Drifting just like I do when I try to drive in Seattle in snow. It was reminiscent.
Just remember, steer with the turn.
I know. Oh my God. This guy was so good, though. The driver, he was so good. But I just was laughing hysterically. Okay. Coming up next, we hear ya and our words to live by. This is the Gee and Ursula Show.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different.
Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
Cap off your summer with an incredible night at the ballpark. The final Mariners fireworks show of the season is coming up Friday, September 12th, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the Angels in a divisional showdown at 7:10. And after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with a dazzling post-game display. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's two spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Way back into the upper deck. What a year for the Big Dumper.
Go to Mariners.com to lock in your seats and check out everything on deck, including Fan Appreciation Night presented by Starbucks Saturday, September 13th, and a Super Mario Mariners cap giveaway thanks to Nintendo Sunday, September 14th. Plus, don't miss the final homestand of the regular season featuring a matchup against Shohei Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers September 26th through 28th. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
And just like that, our Thursday edition of the Gee and Ursula Show is wrapping up, and we hear you. And we're going to share some of your text messages, and I'm going to try to get through without coughing.
All right. I'll see if I can lift you. Our harm reduction program's working to stop addiction and homelessness in Seattle. Mark in Olympia says, as a former active drug user, I can tell you there's no such thing as harm reduction for speed or meth. So handing out needles and utensils is not harm reduction. It's literally helping support and enable users. Opiates are a different thing, and harm reduction can work for those who want to do the work it takes to get clean. Methadone, though, is just another form of using and doesn't support it. Suboxone is the most successful method. Quick fact check on you, Mark, there. Suboxone is methadone, just with the addition of naloxone, so it doesn't fully bind with the opiate receptors in your brain. Buprenorphine is the other drug.
Well, thank you for that. Danielle in the 206 says, I'm very disappointed you are comparing methadone to handing out needles. Methadone is a legal medication that doesn't make you high. You are able to live a healthy, normal life, taking care of yourself and your family without cravings, stealing, or doing things that are not who you are. I have been on methadone for 11 years, and I've been clean and sober since then. I've been able to work full-time, take care of my 3 boys and family. And she points out that addiction is something that stays with you for life. There are so many people who judge others on methadone, and it's so sad because methadone saved my life and many lives. It's been around since the 70s. I pray that one day the system will 100% support methadone programs, which can take people from their lowest point of addiction to becoming a positive and responsible part of our community. And I will say, and I messaged Danielle, that it does work for so many people. And unfortunately, it also doesn't work for some people. And my brother was unfortunately one of those. And I know that there's a lot of controversy, but Danielle, I'm so happy that it has worked for you, and it sounds like you are on a great path.
To her point, remember about 3 years ago when there was that huge brouhaha in Linwood about a methadone clinic opening?
Yes.
Have we heard any crime or safety issues around
Not
that?
since. We should revisit that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on Florida getting rid of vaccine mandates, 206
I like that better.
I know, right? Me too. 206 says it is irresponsible as a community to not act responsibly and vaccinate. Those who choose to not vaccinate should live in a self-contained environment.
Being stuck in your miserable job because of economic uncertainty, Kevin in Black Diamond. What's up, Kevin? I own a business and I have a full-time job that I don't really like. I can't quit either one because of uncertainty and the high cost of living. It's a tough spot to be in. I work way too much, but I don't have a choice.
And Jody in Mount Vernon points out, if you're a person over 50, you will keep any job you can get. It's scary to think of being unemployed right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to roast G here. Should you crash a party? Kevin in the 206 says, New Year's 99, I was in Seattle. We went to the pier to see fireworks on a dock. There was a Navy wedding. A couple attending it just invited us inside. We had a blast. How you got to include the only text message that supported G in here?
Well, I know. I know. Because I wanted to show that I saw that there are some people who say, hey, it can work out. But the common thread in all of those was that they got the permission from the host. And a bunch of people were actually inviting G to crash their events coming up this weekend. So
that's not crashing.
I know, exactly.
That's called being invited.
That was the difference. Steve O says, no unknown parting crashing. That is just double rude. Borderline crashing, kind of okay when someone, not the host or hostess, invites you to the event, or if you crash a business event for the food only. Well, that happens here, but they expect that.
You know what? I'd be more amenable to crashing the business event. Whatever, it's being written off. All right, one last one here. Do you want to live forever? Nurse Diane, one of our favorites. I've been with hundreds of people at the end of life in the emergency department with accidents and trauma. No one wanted to die. End of life with pain and disease and choices like death with dignity. Yes, people wanted to die and be in peace and suffer no longer. I saw that in working with hospice patients.
And Nick, before we wrap up, I just want to say, first of all, thank you. Yeah. We're going to do our words to live by. Okay. And I'm actually inspired to share something that I shared when we first started the show close to 6 years ago. And this is a quote from Mary Davis, who says, we cannot heal the world today, but we can begin with a voice of compassion, a heart of love, and an act of kindness. Something to remember when times seem especially divisive. I think that's great advice. And I know, Nick, that you're going to somehow wrap all of this together.
Well, how long would I want to spend on this thing we call Earth with the never-ending changes and the trends that move and worth? Well, I won't be measuring my quality with racked up years, rather with the people that I meet and laughs shared with some tears.
Are you reeling in the years?
And parties in between are always great to celebrate, but I won't be finding joy like G in crashing parties late. I guess that's just one way he stays young at heart, but those are behind me now.
I love that those are behind you. You're the youngest amongst all of us.
I know,
Chef, you wanted to share one more thing.
Yeah, speaking of crashing parties late, it's something that G is known for, not only outside of the studio.
And Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to the Gee and Ursula Show. You know, the guy who always talks about being on time.
If you're not 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late.
What the heck is going on around here?
I'm back, but Gee, where are you?
Oh, well, I blame Charlie.
Charlie bit me.
This is something that has been an issue.
Ow, Charlie! Ow!
Oh, Lord, take me. I need the ambulance. Oh, help me. Help. We good?
I love it. So happy to be back. If you haven't checked out the video, check it out on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. We'll do this again tomorrow. Jake and Spike coming up next. Stay with us.
Hope you had as much fun as we have.
So long, everybody.
I spent a lot of money and I spent a lot of time. The trip we made to Hollywood is etched upon my mind. After all the things we've done and seen, you find another man. The things you think are useless, I can't understand.
Are you reeling in the years? Stowing away the time? Are you gathering up the keys? Have you had enough of mine? Are you reeling in the
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country Markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Since our start in 1976, the 12s have grown louder. And our dreams have soared higher.
Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champion.
But we're not done. We're ready to stack more wins.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
To show the impact of 12 as one.
Nobody has left this place. It is pandemonium in the stand.
And create moments no one will ever forget. The 50th season starts now. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com.
Do you ever lose your balance or feel dizzy for no apparent reason? Do you hear ringing in your ears or have migraines? These are all signs you could have a problem with your inner ear or vestibular system. To learn more, call the Vestibular Disorders Helpline at 800-837-8428. That's 800-837-8428. Sponsored by the Vestibular Disorders Association.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For them, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.